Let me say this first. MCC Island is a wonderful server, but as it stands right now, at the time making of this video, MCC Island Open Beta has more issues than what it once had during private beta. Let me explain. You see, as someone who is almost max rank for Orange Ocelots and makes content on this server, I have played this game a lot, and because of that, I've noticed with Open Beta, there needs to be improvements. This all comes from my own experience with conversations I've had with both players and creators, and trust me, there's a variety of things that could be improved on, but it all stems into one main category: the gameplay loop. If you don't know what a gameplay loop is, it's basically the cycle of repeated actions you do while you play the game. For Island, it's play the game, progress your quests, earn rewards. It's very simple, but there's one major issue. It's that everything revolves around the quest system. Quests give you the most amount of experience. Quests give you every form of currency. Quests are needed to prestige. And because of that, there's no reward in just playing the game. Yes, there are game passes, but once you've completed the entire game pass, there's no reward left for the player. This means the only time a player should actually play a specific game is if they have to make progress on a quest. But that's not always fun. Sometimes I just want to hop onto the server and play a game without worrying about doing quests, or I already did all my daily quests and now I just have all these quest scrolls in my inventory that I don't really want to do. So at this point, you're just playing the game for experience, which we already mentioned before isn't optimal since, again, quests give you the most amount of experience. So how can we improve this? Well, we keep the quest system, but we also implement what was originally in private beta, where when you completed a game, you had a chance to receive any rarity of coin pouch or any rarity of crate. But we're going to slightly change this, and instead of any crate, you have a chance to receive any variant of crate token. This way, players can earn more coins so they can purchase items, materials, and cosmetics without needing to focus entirely on quests, and it makes everything not feel so expensive since you now have more coins. I'm someone that would love to buy more cosmetics. Like, I want to buy this octopus hat, but it's 450,000 coins. And as of right now, that's not happening. I need to save my coins for prestige, so I have to choose now between doing that or buying cosmetics. But also doing this would allow players to earn a crate token for every variety, giving the players the ability to earn more cosmetics without entirely relying on just the season pass, battle pass, and buying these tokens from the shops. And overall, it feels more rewarding because you're not just playing the game for experience. Do I want to play the game for fun and over time make progress? Or do I want to focus on my quests and make progress faster? You're now giving the players more options, so this way the leveling system and rewards are not stuck to just a single gameplay loop. Which leads into our second topic that needs improving: the leveling system. More specifically, prestiging. Now, Nox Crew, I get it, you want longevity to your game, but if you make something too difficult or too drawn out, it's going to ruin the experience. Because right now, how prestiging is, it's more of a roadblock than an actual prestige. For one, the reward we earn for a prestige is a mastery key. That's great, I'm 100% for this reward. But again, at the time of making of this video, that mastery key can't be used because the gate for it is not available. Now, I get it, you probably didn't expect someone to speedrun to level 50 for a Twitter follow. That's perfectly understandable. But besides that, it's not actually a prestige. Because usually when you prestige in a game, you go back to level 1. But you have an icon that says you're prestige 1, level 1, and that threshold goes back down to level 1. But instead of that, it's now just your level 31 and it costs even more experience to level up. That's not a true prestige. So how do we improve this? Well, we make prestiging just a bit easier to achieve. And if you want to keep the cost of materials the exact same, that's fine. But make it to where we can at least buy or craft just the common power shard, so we can craft the other power shards. And yes, power shards are only used in prestiging and you get a mastery key from it. But when you can't find that power shard, you're stuck at that level. And in a way, players are being punished because they can't earn any more experience from actually playing the games since they're at the level cap until they prestige. So if this was adjusted and allowed players the ability to earn power shards a bit easier, it would improve the overall gameplay loop for players once again. Which leads into something that could be added to the server that helps with this and improves players' interaction. because MCC Island is a great way for players to interact with each other through parties and during games. It's very fun. Yet outside of playing those games, there is not much interaction. But MCC Island is an MMO, so there's full potential in adding an auction/trade house and a trading system. This would allow players to buy and sell excess materials and other components, which would increase interaction between players and help each other out on what they're trying to find. Now, of course, this trade house would not be able to sell completed cosmetic tokens because that just ruins the fun of certain shops and the crate machine. But this would help players earn coins, which would allow them to then again buy things they're wanting from shops, adding another option to this whole gameplay loop. But lastly, my biggest issue with MCC Island really isn't a mechanic to the game, but it's the lack of transparency with simplified explanation to how things work on MCC Island. Because when you spawn in for the first time and after you pick your faction, at that very moment, everything is thrown at you. And the server really doesn't tell you how things work. What is a season pass? What is a game pass? How they're different, how you progress them, how to prestige, how to craft, how to use the crate machine, what can you buy from different shops, and so on and so forth, with many more things both new and recurring players have to figure out. There are even some creators who don't fully understand how a lot of this works, and that's a pretty big issue when the very same creators that make content on this server don't know what certain things do. Now, I know, players can make tutorials on this stuff, and MCC Island's website there's the patch notes. Even myself, I'll probably make videos explaining how some of the stuff works in the future. But players should have a basic understanding for most of this. Perfect example of this is the limited time summer event. The patch notes give you an overview on how the event works, which is perfect, that's what we need. But what it doesn't tell you is that you can't get all the cosmetics from just playing the games and doing quests. So you would think all those cosmetics would now be gone after the event, right? Well, not exactly. What it also doesn't tell you, and I just found this out recently from reading the comments in those patch notes from a Nox Crew employee who answered this very same question, is that all season loot and limited event loot that you don't obtain will go into a legacy token that you can roll in the crate machine, which honestly is a very good idea. But that would have been great to know in the patch notes itself. Just something simple that says, don't worry, if you're unable to earn all the cosmetics, you'll be able to earn them from the crate machine within legacy tokens in the future. That's it. Transparency and explanation is important to players. We don't need to know everything right away, but we also shouldn't be left in the dark trying to figure out everything on our own. I don't want this game to be where everything is just given to us. That just ruins the fun and reward of achieving things. But I also don't want this game to be where players are bottlenecked into just one overall gameplay loop, feeling stuck and confused because an objective just has so many steps and they don't know where to start in the first place. So if all of what I said was improved on and implemented into MCC Island, and this part is very important, while keeping the other mechanics in the game, then the enjoyment and satisfaction for players would increase drastically. Don't get me wrong, I believe what Nox Crew is doing is fantastic. I fully believe MCC Island could become one of the greatest servers in Minecraft. All it needs is just a few improvements and feedback from the community, because this is open beta after all. There's going to be issues and changes that need to be made. But if Nox Crew can see stuff like this, and make improvements and add ideas that make the server even better and more enjoyable for the community, then we as a community should share our thoughts and feedback to them. Again, this is just my opinion and experience from conversations I've had with other players and creators. So Nox Crew, or any Nox Crew employees that are watching this, you all are doing a wonderful job. And I know you all have a lot going on right now. I just believe things could be improved on through feedback like this.